Oklahoma. You know, I've always said my favorite game is my next game, and this game has stories to tell. The Florida Gators, an SEC contender, anxious to prove a recent stumble was merely that. And a young but talented Oklahoma, searching for another signature win before resuming the Big 12 gauntlet. Sit back as we tell you their stories on this special day of college basketball. You are looking live at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma. We welcome you to the SEC Big 12 Challenge presented by Sonic. The Florida Gators play a visit to the Oklahoma Sooners. And what a pleasure for me. I want to thank all those youngsters and everybody who's come up. But Dick Vitale closing it out here in the Big 12 with this basketball game. One to go Tuesday night in Kentucky. Dick, our last rodeo together, and what a pleasure it's been working with you, my friend.
My friend, I can't say enough about you. You're looking live today. SEC Big 12 Challenge. We got right now, Brent, Florida, it's got to get a win. I think the SEC searching for respect. The last 3 years, the Big 12 has dominated the matchup, and they want that respect. They want a little Aretha Franklin. My friend, it's unbelievable. I can't believe this is going to be the last rodeo because really, I've loved working with you. You're a man who is absolutely the best at what you've done. You're a legend, icon, great storyteller, paint a picture. You are awesome, baby, with a capital A.
Thank you so much.
Love you, buddy.
Let's go to Kaylee Hartung.
Awesome, baby. Isn't that the truth, Brent? Now, this young Oklahoma team still recovering from the heartbreaking losses of this past week. And the good news coming out of that loss at Texas was that their two freshmen, Cameron McGusty and Christian Doolittle, combined for 50 points. And before Big 12 play started, assistant Chris Crutchfield told these two freshmen, hey, Big 12 play is going to be tough. They told me they didn't really believe him. Well, at a 2-6 record, their ears are wide open. Crutchfield told them both this week, we need a big game out of you, too, if we're going to get past Florida.
Mike Stewart, Kip Kissinger, Kirby Sitton, our officials. Good crew here this afternoon. Woodard will bring it up for the first set, Dick, for Oklahoma.
I'll tell you one thing, you think about Oklahoma, those heartbreaking losses. Imagine having a 5-point lead with 19 seconds and they lose to Texas. They had a 6-point lead with 35 seconds left and they lose to Iowa State. Unbelievable heartbreak hotel in the last 2 games.
Christian Doolittle, one of the talented freshmen here at OU, knocks down our first field goal.
He had 29 against Texas. Good-looking diaper dandy.
Traveling, first turnover of the game.
You know, Gators on the road. I'm going to tell you this, Brent. This is not going to be Cupcake City here. Despite when you look at their record, 8-11 Oklahoma. You look at certainly Florida 15-5. This is going to be a tough basketball game.
Latin. And a defensive rebound for the Gators. So important, according to Coach White. Pre-game that they do not give them easy offensive rebounds.
Yeah, he was really concerned about that, the athleticism of Oklahoma.
Robinson coming off a big game, air ball.
He had that big game against LSU, but everybody's had big games on LSU. They made 19 threes. They went 0 for 17. 0 for 17 against South Carolina. Brent, I thought you were shooting.
In that first one, that 0 for 17, yes. But, you know, I've never seen a turnaround quite like that. I told Coach and you, that was unbelievable to go from 0 to 19 the next game out.
Well, they went 6 for 26 against Vanderbilt. That was a tough loss. If they don't lose to Vanderbilt at home, they're right now really up there with Kentucky in the SEC. Now they're 1 game behind.
Leon, this is on the shot, so the Gators start out cold here, Norman.
Woodard certainly a key for Oklahoma, veteran player.
Great move, didn't stay down, and there's going to be a foul. It's going to go against the Gators. It's against Robinson. And you know what's interesting about this, and the gentleman, Lon Kruger, the great head coach here at Oklahoma, he coached Florida to a Final Four, Dick.
1994, lost to Duke in the semifinal game. That's when Duke got beat by Arkansas. Remember Scotty Thurman? You might have done the game. I don't know. Scotty Thurman made the big shot in that game.
I did not do that one, and they put back and won. And there is Kadeem Latin staying right with it, and had a few words with the young man at the pregame shoot around. He's got such a great spirit about him and everything. And he said, you know, he said, we lost the tough ones that Dick told you about, but he said, we're going to play hard here today. And we'll see what happens in this game. It's very important, Dick, I think, especially for Oklahoma coming off those two tough losses. Huh?
You're playing at home. You want to be able to get a win at your home floor. You know, Latin, he was a kid that contributed big for them last year, going to that Final Four. I will never forget one of the greatest games I've ever associated with the Kansas-Oklahoma game with you. Triple overtime. It was unbelievable. What he healed with 46.
Rattles out, and there is Latin muscling the ball away. Good rebound.
He's a good rebounder. He's an excellent shot blocker. He's a junior. Florida really struggling right now offensively, so they got to really play tough defense.
Woodard misses the three. Allen rebounds. Gators looking for their first score.
Wouldn't really hurt Oklahoma with those injuries he had. That really
hurt. Allen brings the rain with the three. Kayvon Allen from Little Rock, Arkansas.
He has great scoring ability. He went through a little slump, but he's a kid who can score quickly, punches.
Great interior pass. And Latin's coming up to shoot a pair of free throws.
You know, terrific pass on the interior there, but you got to score. We're going to take a look at the Gators right now. And there's Allen with the big three. Nice. Nothing but nylon.
So Latin's back on the free throw line with two throws.
Remember that game we did, Kansas and Oklahoma? Was that unbelievable?
Three overtime.
Buddy
Hield in a losing game. Was he brilliant?
Unbelievable. Hey, they didn't even care about us. We were worrying about our oatmeal. I mean, 154 years between both of us, and we're there like at 12 midnight. You know what? I wanted to stay there all night. That's how good that game was.
It was fabulous.
Brent, it's great being next to you, man. I really mean this. It's been, I remember starting out, before I got in television, young coach watching the NFL Today, set the tone for all the studio shows that exist now all over America.
Well, the Gators are down 7-3 now. Weave here on the outside.
Oklahoma playing a lot of switching man-to-man. Looks sometimes like it's a 2-3 matchup because they switch so much offense.
Now it feeds it inside, and wants Latin battling for the rebound, and it's picked up by a teammate.
Show some patience on offense. Young kids, that's one of the things you really are concerned about. Shot selection when you got young guys like Auguste and Doolittle.
Pick and roll. Latin was open for a minute. Shepard didn't pick him up. Open three. Good inside outside. Missed that particular look. Wouldn't fall for Doolittle. Open man though. And then it hits the end line and out of bounds. Did not turn it over. It will still be Florida ball. And they're coming up later on ESPN, the two winningest programs in college basketball history, of course, Kansas and Kentucky. What do you make of that?
Well, you know, it's a great backcourt matchup. You're talking about Mason and Graham and Jackson, who I think is going to be sensational for Kansas. And then you look at Kentucky, I think maybe the best backcourt in America, Monk and Fox. So I think guard play is going to be big. I know Jay and certainly Dan Schumann are excited about that. Should be a terrific game. Both coming off, which is unusual, both coming off losses. So they got to play with a little chip on their shoulder and be hungry big time. Those are two Goliaths, man. Two great coaches, terrific players.
Big night for basketball. In fact, all day is great on ESPN. And of course, ABC has an NBA matchup. Clippers and the Warriors. We're going to have our first break. 15:52 to go, and Oklahoma leads Florida 7-3.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Sonic's 399 foot long with ties, and in part by Continental Tire, for what you do.
What a wonderful career Lon Kruger's had. Of course, at Florida, as Dick reported, he took them to the Final Four. Had a big-time run, SEC Coach of the Year twice. He took 5 different teams to the NCAA tournament in '94. That was their first time ever. And Kaylee Hartung, he's just a wonderful man.
He sure is, Brent. And you know what? When Lon Kruger took Florida to the Final Four in Charlotte in 1994, Mike White was in attendance at that game. He was a 17-year-old high school kid cheering for the Gators because his uncle was a fan.
Hey, Brent was talking about Kelly. He took 5 schools. Incredible. One of 2 coaches to do it. He took Kansas State, Florida, Illinois, UNLV, Oklahoma. Tubby Smith's taken 5. If he can somehow get Memphis there, he'll be the only coach to have 6.
That's amazing. Pull up after the timeout, rims out, but he's going to go over now to the Gators.
That's a big day here for Oklahoma recruiting as well. They have a super All-American high school player in attendance, Trey Young, and he's thinking about coming down 2 schools, the Jayhawks of Kansas and the Oklahoma Sooners. He's from Norman.
I would give Oklahoma the hometown edge in that case.
Well, I'm gonna definitely go to you because, you know, you have all this wisdom and knowledge. Boy, the stories were rolling last night at dinner. I only wish we could share on TV for 3 hours.
Allen rims out. Rebound by James.
James, a kid, a lot of expectations. Has not lived up to them, and he's put a lot of pressure on himself. But he's a guy they really expect to be a very good player for them. Here he is, number 3 with the basketball. Has a lot of ability, to score potential.
Shot clock coming down. Shepard misses.
Bad possession right there. No ball movement. You got to move that basketball. You want to get high percentage shots.
Take a little shot. Words exchanged over here in the corner.
And I think maybe it's the Gators and Sooners playing a little football there. Both schools have a little history in the world of the pigskin.
Yes, they do. So it's 7-3 Gator basketball, 14:59 remaining here in the first half.
Slow pace game, not being able to get in transition. Both clubs making each other play 5-on-5. So execution becomes big, Brent.
Yeah, there haven't been any easy baskets in this game, have there?
Nope, there's one right
there.
Hayes,
and that's our first one. Kevarius Hayes from Live Oak, Florida.
Well, it's a terrific 2-man play right there. That bounce pass, dropped in on a dime for a layup. But again, being efficient in a half-court game. Same on the other end now. Florida's going to make that play half-court basketball. Double up on the post.
It's back to kind of an awkward-looking left hand by McNeese, wasn't it?
Yeah, tough-looking shot right there. So far, McGusty and Doolittle have been very quiet. They had 50 between them against Texas.
Hayes again. Good rebounding by the Gators. But they can't make it pay off. And foul is going to be called on Robinson. Is that number 2 on Robinson? He's going right over to the bench, and yeah, that is number 2.
2 on Robinson. He's coming off, as you said earlier, Brent, really a great game his last game. LSU, though, struggling. I mean, they made 19 threes. I don't want to take anything away from them. They moved the ball, but LSU is last in the conference defensive scoring. Too much going east-west instead of north-south. You got to attack the rim.
Shepard, we see there's a story that has unfolded as I look out there right now. Canyon Berry tested his injured ankle, and obviously it was good to go. Canyon Berry, number 24, is on the floor for the first time today. He had checked in, so there is Rick Berry's youngest son, and Dick, I've got some wonderful anecdotes to tell you about his father. My oh my. We broadcast together. I covered him when he was a star in the NBA. Here comes James, and it's going to be a treat for me, especially I want to see Canyon on the free throw.
He was absolutely a star, no question in the NBA when you talk about Rick Barry. Fierce competitor. His son's a great competitor. Son is a great student academically as well.
You kidding me?
Yeah.
Nuclear engineering he studied, and ball is blocked.
It's even a little bit more than nuclear engineering. I can't pronounce the word. I tell you what, he's one of the premier six-men in basketball. He usually gives you instant offense off that bench.
Just the game has not established any kind of an offensive rhythm yet.
No, we haven't seen any rhythm at all. I mean, right here. Good defense, rotating over, good block shot. Gators, they got a big day coming up soon with Kentucky at home. Beautiful arena. Have you been down there since they renovated it? It's gorgeous.
And I was certainly there as they, there's Barry. His first shot is a three, knocks it down just like Dad.
I'll tell you one thing, that ankle must be feeling pretty good. His father was some scoring machine. He was unreal.
Overlooked about his father is the fact he was one of the better passers that I was around in the mid-'70s. He doesn't get enough credit for that. I'm going to tell you something. He was Rick Barry. Rick Barry was Larry Bird before Larry Bird showed up. That's how good Rick Barry was. The young generation doesn't realize that. He was awesome. Oklahoma scores inside to make it a 1 point sooner.
Nice little entry on the inside. You know, and what I loved about Rick Barry was his competitiveness. He was a fierce competitor.
Heck of a tennis player and a good golfer. I mean, he was just a sensational all-around athlete.
Hated to lose, Brent. Anything he did, he hated to lose.
So take a look at Canyon. Doesn't take
Squaring his
long.
body, but I know one thing where his son shines a little more than Daddy, and that's in those books, baby.
Let me say this.
Books.
Let me say this. His dad ain't going to be studying nuclear engineering. That's not happening. Easy field goal for Allen. Just teasing you, Rick, but that's the truth.
Yeah, we don't want no text messages.
So the Gators regain the lead. Here we go. Sooners now. Woodard gets it back outside.
One thing Gators are doing a good job defensively. They're making Oklahoma have to score in half court.
Now foul on the attack. Odoms.
You don't see any layups in transition. Nothing, right?
Get a 1 point game. Gators with the lead, 11:47, and a timeout in Norman.
What a move by Buddy Hield.
Yes. Show me a better offensive player.
Selden fires for the win, but he spins knocked away. Jayhawk ball. And turned it over. I had no idea what we were in for here tonight.
Let me say, Brent, that was certainly special doing that game. What was more special, sitting next to you. And I want a little gift from the Vitals to you. I'm going to tell you this, is what I believe right here. We have this made a picture of you and I, so you don't forget me. You put it in your office, and I mean it here, Brent. It has been an honor to sit next to you calling games. You are truly a broadcasting legend. And may God bless you in your future, buddy. You are leading the family. I want you to have that.
Thank you,
and
sir.
Put it in your office, please.
I'll hang it in Las Vegas proudly.
And pursuing your new dreams and goals.
Thank you, Lorraine. Your lovely wife is here with you. Of course, I've seen you through the years. You've been such a great friend. Keep going, just what you're doing, buddy. I will be listening. I'll be watching. I'll be paying attention to you. And from time to time, I might be even checking in with Mr. Vital.
Well, thank you. When I come to Vegas, Dave O'Brien and I, we may hook up.
Absolutely.
We'll see #1 in the country, Gonzaga.
Yeah, you'll be out there at Gonzaga for that tournament. And here we've got Oklahoma and Florida. And so far, nothing coming easy.
Tough.
Especially for Oklahoma. Dick, you made a great point when we went to commercial break. You should tell the audience that the young players, half-court basketball is very tough.
Very tough for these young freshman kids. See, Florida, a little more experience, can execute in a half-court game. When you look at Oklahoma with those freshmen, a little bit more difficult getting good shots. They haven't been able to get anything at all in transition. Defensive transition, very good by the Gators.
So, Big No made that field goal as we check in with Kaylee.
Well, Brent, Lon Kruger really wants more communication and energy out of his players on the court, but that started in the huddle as he would ask questions and demanded that they respond to him in the affirmative or the negative, depending on what the question may be. But a very interesting coaching technique as Lon Kruger started that communication and energy he wanted in the huddle.
Tell you, Kelly, he's got some really good young kids. The future's going to be bright. Same with Texas. Shocker has got some good young kids there. Kid Allen on the interior. This guy can win. He's a beautiful guy. He's classy. Everywhere he's been, there's never been any doubt.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
He's getting close. See, one of the criteria I think now is the fact that if you don't win that national title, to you and me, we don't think that's necessary to validate greatness. But some people voting think that's a very important part of it. Bob Huggins as well has 2 Final Fours.
Both of them should be in.
I agree with you. Nice ball fake.
Hester did a good job.
He made 5 for 5 shooting the 3 against last game against the LSU team. He's a kid who actually recruited for his defensive ability. He's being recruited by Rick Pitino in Louisville as well.
Pocket pick. Freeman, who Lon told us earlier, another one of the freshmen. He's a bit of a story, folks. He's out of Auckland, New Zealand, and like a lot of the basketball players from Australia and New Zealand, they're pretty good shooters, but they're not accustomed to how fast the game moves when they arrive in the United States. And, I know Kentucky has a young man from New Zealand as well as a big fellow from Australia. It's great to see these youngsters come up and get an education and play here. And shooting a couple of free throws now, Dick, will be Egbunu, young man out of Nigeria.
Well, he transferred him out of South Florida, and Bruno right there got too good of inside position. You can't allow him to get the baseline like he did right there in that sequence. Hey, you had Kentucky the other day in that upset with Tennessee. What happened down there?
You know, they could never get themselves in sync. You know, there was a bunch of individuals that got a team, and John Calipari is obviously has some work to do, and we'll see what they play like tonight against Kansas in Rupp. You know, that's such a big game coming up tonight at 6:15, and Jay is working with Dan Schumann, I assume, in Rupp, and Kaylee, that's going to be a dandy, dear. We'll have to find a good place here in Norman, get the gang together and watch it.
Tell a lot of stories again. Oh, they were rolling and flowing last night at Plum W, I can tell you that. Oh, man.
Let's go to Kaylee.
Well, Brent, in that loss last Tuesday to Tennessee, John Calipari was most disappointed with his team's ball movement. He didn't think that they shared the ball at all, so that was the team's focus this week: share the ball, move it, get a great shot. So Cal was showing them film examples of when they played their best basketball this season, they were passing the ball. Now, every game it seems we've heard Cal demand that they play through Bam Adebayo. Today with Bragg out for Kansas, a big opportunity for the Cats to take advantage of that inside game.
You know, and Kelly and Brent, the one thing Kentucky's got to get a little bit more out of, more than just their 3 diaper dandies who are super out of Adebayo on the inside and Monk, and certainly when you look at the play of Fox, other people got to really start to contribute big. Briscoe has, but they need other people, big guys, to step up.
So, you know, let me congratulate both these leagues, the SEC and the Big 12. I've spent time with them. To have this in the middle of the season, this is a happening on this Saturday with all those matchups that you're looking, and it gives basketball at the collegiate level a push at the right time. We're coming down to the end of January, and then we're going to February, and everybody will be focused on March Madness, who's going to make the tournament, who's not. This is a special Saturday, and I know the fans enjoy it. Certainly the broadcasters enjoy it, having these 2 leagues come together today.
Well, you know, Brad, something else is going to give college basketball a big lift as well. Some people are against it, the naysayers. There was a great column by Pat Dooley down there in Gainesville about it. On February 11th, they're going to start the NCAA posting the top 16 teams, the top seeds. And I think that's going to create a lot of conversation, a lot of talk. It's about 5-6 days after the Super Bowl, and people will be talking a lot of basketball about where their team is placed. I think that's pretty good. What do you think about that idea?
I like it a lot because, you know, we've done the college football for quite some time, okay? Yeah. And the fans can discuss it, and how can you rank this team here and one by. It creates conversation.
Absolutely, creates conversation. People argue, battle, and that's the beauty of sports. Like you and I were battling last night on a couple subjects which we cannot discuss.
Odoms knocks the free throw down. So I mentioned that it was a good night for basketball, good day. Texas versus Georgia. That's going to be following us right here on ESPN.
Georgia's been up and down. Got beat by 20 recently by Alabama. But again, they got some wins. You look at the record, very dangerous. Shaka Smart, young team like Oklahoma. Have ups, have downs. Florida, veteran team. That's why I think, as I told Mike before the game, you were there, as I'm like, don't you feel you guys have to win this game?
Oklahoma brings it down now. Odom's deadlocked at 16 here, 9.5 minutes. And he turns it back over. Hill driving. Snap back down. Sooners one and done.
Casey Hill came in with a big reputation. Driver, slasher. Has had a better year this year than he had last year.
Oh, what a fine rejection by Hayes. And Hill at the other end. Defense leads to offense.
Well, you know, that play you credit Hayes. You're right, Brant. His defense made that happen. Fast break layup. That's reminiscent to the great shot blockers over the years, blocking shots.
And if they could keep him playing and not send that ball out of bounds, it's extra special.
Bill Russell was the best man years ago.
Best I ever was around.
He was unreal.
Let's take a look at that play, Dick, from one end to the other.
We're going to take a look right here. Look at the block shot. Keeps it in play. They release. And that's Casey Hill with the catch. And goes up to the goal. Nice drive to the goal.
One more to tie as Barry reports back in. And waiting to check in is McGusty, Cameron McGusty for the Sooners. He's one of their freshmen. He's out of Katy, Texas. Great football town.
He's got a lot of talent, a lot of talent. There were question marks about him coming out of high school that he didn't always play hard because the game came too easy to him in high school. He dominated. At this level, you got to play hard all the time.
Oklahoma rebounds. Allen's miss.
Harding gets back right away. Very difficult to run on him here today. They're making him play 5 against 5.
Good. Backed him down. McNeese did for the field goal.
Nice job getting that ball deep in the post. Spun it over the left shoulder.
And one. Hayes come up. You know, Dick, I want to go back on the point that that you've been making about the Gators getting back defensively. That is what you have to do in the SEC as you get ready to play Kentucky. You must get your defense back because they will. That may be John's fastest team ever. We had a conversation at practice. That team can flat fly. If you get daylight, they're going to go right to the rim.
Well, it's going to be interesting to watch the matchup today with Mason and Graham and Jackson on the perimeter because that's the strength of Kansas. I think the loss of Bragg physically is a player that can really hurt in a game like this because they're not deep on a bench. He was suspended, by the way, because they said team rules and regulations. It's a second suspension thus far. Trying to get a little one-on-one there in the post.
And now it's one and done. Doolittle misses. And that is a foul on Odoms. So we'll take a break here at the 7:47 mark. Florida and Oklahoma challenge game tied at 1.
The two winningest programs.
Back in our college basketball studios with LaFonso Ellis, Ahmad Niamburk. We're updating you on Kansas State and Tennessee over on ESPN2. Here's Jordan Bone with the hoop and harm.
Tennessee doing exactly what they did against Kentucky, driving off the bounce, looking to make plays. Beautifully done there.
Yeah, so far, I'd say a one-sided affair. Also, see the action there with LSU and Texas Tech. Back to two broadcasting greats, Brent Musburger and Dick Vitale.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. And here we've got a pretty cold shooting Oklahoma team, Dick. Only 25%. They've missed all 5 of their 3 balls.
Absolutely, a little frigid right there. Hey, some crazy things happening in hoops, baby. Hoops hysteria. Florida State gets beat again on the roll by Syracuse, who's been up and down. Certainly a good win for Jim Boeheim. I mean, you got some Georgia Tech. Josh Pastner, he's got to be coach of the year. He's got 5 wins. People didn't think he'd win a game at Georgia Tech this year.
And Miami beating North Carolina at the moment, too.
What about Wisconsin going to overtime with Rutgers? But they won it. Bottom line is get the W.
This has been some week in college basketball. 3 of the
showing you the journey.
Projected #1 seeds lost on Tuesday night. Here's Hill now driving it in and rejected underneath. 9 on the shot.
You know, Brent, shows the journey is going to be unbelievable in March Madness because you really can't predict. There's so many teams out there that can beat each other.
2 3 balls for Kenyon Berry.
He's got to get more shots. They got to get him more shots. Came out of Charleston, played there. He's a good scorer there.
This gives him a little more visibility. The way he shoots, you know, he's going to get a look from somebody in the NBA. You know, you never know. It's hard to project with these youngsters, but he's such a good outside shooter.
Well, making shots is certainly a positive.
You know, that's twice now that McNeese has backed his man down and scored.
Well, it's a poor job defensively. Rather than defense rotating over to take away and turning into the lane over the left shoulder, they allow him to shoot that.
Hester outside, but there was Berry cleaning it up for the 2-point field goal. So we got 8 points for Berry already.
Yeah, Barry in the right place. I tell you, he's instant offense, man. He is instant offense. Very quiet crowd, I'll tell you, very quiet.
The other team is not shot well. McGusty on the drive late. That'll give him a little bit of a lift. Here come the students a little bit.
McGusty shows his ability right there, why they're so high on him in the future. The future's really bright here for this Oklahoma team.
And it was hit off an Oklahoma player's hand.
Look at this here, Barry screaming for the ball. Wide open, nobody guarding him. I can make that shot, Brent. I can make that shot. Are you serious? Look, it's right here. See, defense got to run at him. They can't allow him to turn into the lane like he did over the left shoulder. McNeese, nice little post.
Berry screaming for the ball. That's a family trait, too. Hester takes it in.
Pace gets the deuce there, a box inside.
Tap, no, and over the top foul is going to be called. And that's on McNeese. That's his second personal foul. Already Robinson has picked up 2 for the Gators.
It looks like we're going to have a very close game here. And that's been a trademark of Lon's teams. They got to find a way, though, to go in a positive scenario, especially at the end of games.
Gators came in as a road favorite, but only by a field goal. It's 27-24.
I would expect you to know what the spread was on this game. I'm very disappointed that you haven't said early that Oklahoma is a 2-point dog. I haven't heard it out of you, Mr. Musburger.
Because I haven't had a howling underdog yet, you know.
Let me tell you this, you know, I'm watching the game, but, you know, I'm just thinking over the years, the way you paint a picture, the way I remember watching games, man, before I got into television, you made me feel that I wanted to be there. I was jealous that I was sitting there. I'll never forget watching the championship over in Kentucky, Georgetown, and a game with Villanova. Man, I would have loved to have been there. You were with your boy Billy Packard up. Really terrific guy.
Yeah, I talked to Billy the other day, actually.
How's he doing?
Back home, he's doing fine. He says he doesn't stay as close to all the teams like he used to. And that kind of surprised me. You know,
yeah, really surprising. He was a basketball
junkie. He was
junkie.
a hoops junkie. He really was. He's like you. He was probably great memories with Billy and some of the great championships. Can you believe that Raleigh Massimino is still coaching?
Coaching, unbelievable. I know one thing. You better write an incredible book. Can I be your agent on a book? I'd like to be your agent.
Dick, you can be my agent for anything, my friend.
You have a way of connecting, too, as a broadcaster, a unique quality. One big-time producer told me once, Scotty Connor, terrific guy, was unbelievable. He said, Dick, it is very unique in our broadcasting profession to have people that connect. And you, right now, Brent, connect. Whether they agree with you, disagree, when they're going to the water cooler, baby, they're saying, did you hear what Musburger said? Did you hear what he said? Aren't you going to miss it?
You know,
come on, tell me.
Of course I'm going to miss it.
You're going to miss it.
Of course I'm going to miss it. But I'll be saying, did you hear what Vitale said last night? Did you hear what Dickie V was ranting and raving about?
Me, this is so shy and quiet. I wanted a nickel for every picture we took last night. Oh, nice ball movement.
Barry misses this time from that corner. And,
it's good ball movement right there to reverse the ball. Got him the open look. It's been the quietest crowds I've been in all year. Yet it's a very competitive game.
Speaking of quiet crowds, and Dick, I know that your daughters are terrific tennis players through the years. You've got some grandchildren down there in Bradenton, great players. Now you take this over, Federer and Nadal. You give me a read on this one.
Well, you know, I'm a Federer guy. It's amazing after 6 months of being laid out with a knee injury, but he's such a, but I think he's no question to me as Barry scores the greatest of all time. Just like Serena, I think she locked it up. And no talk anymore, no debate. After beating her sister today for her 23rd Grand Slam, she's the greatest of all time. I think an amazing movie should be in the works on the lives of the girls, Venus and Serena. What an amazing story. Their father started them in Watts on courts, them unbelievable. I mean, these kids, just an amazing story.
Hayes takes it home with emphasis for the Gators.
So the bottom line is, I got Federer winning. Nadal is terrific, but I got Federer winning.
So you heard it from the man. Mr. Vital's going with Federer. And those of you who don't want to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch it, ESPN2 is going to have a replay for you tomorrow morning at a reasonable time.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Cheez-It Grooves. Dang right it's a chip.
I'm Adnan Burke alongside LaFonso Ellis coming up from the Alfa Romeo halftime report. SEC Big 12, a ton of fun today, including Kansas-Kentucky fans. I can't wait.
I'm really looking forward to that game, but Kentucky's got to get the basketball in the Bam Adebayo early and often for them to be successful tonight.
We'll talk about one of the keys to the Jayhawks coming up at the half. For now, back to Brent and Dick. Guys?
We welcome you back. Dick Vitale, David Hartman, I'm Brett Musburger, and Canyon Barry off the bench with 10, but he is also joined by Mr. Hayes. So 2 players off the bench carrying the load here.
Well, right now, you look at the 22-8 edge. Certainly a big attribute to get a guy like Barry coming off, giving you that instant productivity.
Woodard pull up.
They got to get Woodard going. He's the veteran player. He's the star player. 20 against West Virginia. Made that incredible play at the end of the game. He's been quiet here. They got to get some, push the ball up the court. Try to get a little more transition. Gators are a real good basketball team defensively. They went through some lapses during the season, but normally they play some solid D. I saw them against Gonzaga.
By Woodard, tap back, wouldn't fall. And, that's missing an easy one, Dick. When you're trying to come from behind, man, that hurts.
You got to convert there.
Barry, great fake drive, and Barry was nicked on the drive. Robinson returns. Remember, he picked up 2 very early fouls. He's number 1, and Canyon will sit down.
Surprised bringing him in with 2 fouls with 2:20 on the clock.
Yeah, usually coaches will wait till the second half.
Especially when you get the lead, +7. Mike's a good young coach, though. He has great feel for the game. He has great communicative ability with the kids, too. And most of all, his AD really likes him. I spoke to in the lobby, Scott Strickland, the new AD of Florida. He said, I really like our coach.
Robinson, and now he's fouled. He'll shoot a pair of free throw. You talked about Kevin. He was at Mississippi State, and 2 fabulous hiring. Dan Mullen is the football coach, and now Ben Holland is the basketball coach before he took the job down at Gainesville. He's an outstanding young athletic director.
Yeah, he really was very high on Coach White.
So now Big Daddy Latin playing with 3 fouls. That's a major turn.
Yeah, because he's a veteran player on the interior, block shots, rebound. He has some experience. Starting to get a little away here from the Sooners.
Over the last 5 minutes, they've been outplayed at both ends. C.J. Cole replaces Latin, and so he will sit with those 3 personal fouls until the second half.
Had the Gators in their win over Tennessee. They played really well defensively. Rowdy Reptiles were all fired up. Then I had them in 2 losses. In 2 quality games they played and got beat both by Gonzaga and Duke.
Woodard still can't get anything going, and Cole off the bench with a foul.
Well, Woodard's struggling right now. He struggled against Texas. I mean, they're right there to win that game, and he was 1 for 6, Brent. You can have your senior and star give you those kind of performances. He's too good a player.
Yeah, Woodard's 0-5 Dick here so far.
Well, they lost a lot from last year. Buddy Hield. Buddy Buckets was something special. He's going to be a very good NBA player. He's averaging about 8 a game in the NBA.
Plays with New Orleans, folks.
Yep. These guys aren't coming into the NBA and coming out with 20, 25 a game. The pace of the game, the physicality.
How about what Westbrook is doing up the road?
Wow.
Oklahoma City.
I mean, you told me, I didn't realize they played together. Tell them what you told me in the break.
I said, well, there was a time when Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Westbrook were all on the same team.
Wow.
Think about that for a minute.
Incredible. Try to design plays for those 3 guys. Man, enough shots.
And there's only one basketball.
That's right. I'll tell you, Westbrook is having, without a doubt, an MVP year. How he didn't make the starting All-Star team is a joke.
Yeah, I agree. Bingo. There's Auguste, the freshman.
Auguste comes up big. Now he's going to get the veteran player to help him out. The Diaper Dandy hits one. They needed that basket badly.
The Gators are getting easier shots at the rim, and that's been the case throughout the first half.
Beat him on the glass, too, getting the offensive rebound, getting the conversion there. You're right, Mr. Musburger. See, that's why you should be still doing play-by-play. You haven't missed a beat.
Freeman way off to the right.
Wow, that was Brick City, man. It looked like my shots from the perimeter.
Good hustle by Berry.
Just out hustled him for that ball. Vancouver can't be happy there.
And now shooting free throws as a result of that hustle. You're exactly right there.
Yeah, good tenacity by Barry made that happen.
It is true throughout the SEC. What I have seen, I've seen Mississippi State, I've seen Tennessee, I've seen Vanderbilt, obviously I've seen Kentucky. I'll tell you right now, there's great athletic ability, and it's young in this particular league, and the hiring of this new wave of coaches that have come in there. I think you're going to see things turn around here in the next couple of years in the SEC.
It should, and there's no reason why they can't be right up there. Right now, when you look, I read an article today by Gary Smits. He talked about the 7 teams in the Big 12, 7 teams in the Big 12 in the top 43 of the RPI, and there was only like 3, I think, from the SEC. Right. And I think there's no question. When you look, I think Alabama's going to turn the corner. I really do.
Avery Johnson.
Yes, sir. I think he's going to get it done.
Good ball movement by the Gators.
Double dribble. Yeah, double dribble right there. I can even see that with one eye. No, you're right, Brent. They have to really upgrade their recruiting, make sure they get kids playing as a unit together, because the SEC right now, you don't get many quality wins. I mean, you're Florida now. You got to win against an elite. See, right now, they're not playing a ranked quality big-time basketball team this year in Oklahoma, but they're playing the Big 12 on the road, one of the premier conferences. In fact, the BBI, I believe, has the Big 12 #1.
It does have.
Well, the VBDI, the Vital Ball Dome Index, says the BBI is wrong. My Ball Dome Index tells me the ACC from top to bottom is #1.
40-28 with 26.4 remaining. Coach White, Gators huddled around him. They've taken over. Dickie V talked about the BPI, and there is the Big 12 over the ACC, Big East, Big 10, SEC is 5. Those are your, of course, your power football conferences right there. And 4 of them with the Big East included. Big East is 3, but it's hard to rank anybody over the ACC this year, in
Absolutely.
my mind.
And I don't see the Pac-12 in here. Are they serious with Oregon, UCLA? To think about certainly Arizona now that they can trip out.
Oh, that was just like Pops.
I mean,
That was just Kenyon. He got him in the air and threw the foul. He's come up to shoot 3.
Watch him go shoot like his dad. But let me tell you this, the Pac-12's got some quality team. Southern Cal just beat UCLA. There's the contact. His dad did that well.
Here we go.
You're going to say a nuclear engineer.
And that's, I'll tell you why he wanted to go to Florida. They're the only school, I believe, in the country with a nuclear reactor. And that was the final piece for Barry to go there. I mean, he's got one more. And it begs the question, why don't more big men, especially who have trouble with free throws,
shoot on there?
I mean,
It's ego. It's ego. Doesn't look cool. You know what? Forget about cool. Put points on the board.
Put it in.
Put it in, exactly.
You know, Rick had some sessions with Shaquille O'Neal, some private sessions. And actually, Shaq was coming on pretty good, but he didn't like the look. So he would never do it in the NBA game. As the first half comes to an end. And it was that bench led by Canyon Barry. 15 points off. Look at that, the starters with the 15 and 28 off the bench. Big difference in this game.
Yeah, we talked about the fact that when Canyon comes in, he gives him that instant offense, and he hasn't disappointed. He's been a big plus coming off that ankle injury. Just a terrific job by Coach White and his kids.
Let's go to Kaylee with Coach White.
Well, Coach, Hayes and Barry come off your bench to give you more than half of your points. What allowed their effectiveness?
I thought Hayes was really good in transition offense, feeding off of Casey. Casey's been incredible off pick and roll. He's gotten better and better at it. It's carried over to tonight. Canyon Barry, it's nice to have him back. He's hit a couple of hard ones. He's a really good shooter, obviously. We need continued contribution from those guys. Most importantly, we finally got into a rhythm of getting some stops. We struggled to defend them early. Bunch of fouls, got a bunch of guys in foul trouble. We've got to get off to a good start in the second half.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Kaylee.
All right, thank you very much. And so there you have it. These two fellows off the Florida bench have done the job. Hayes and Barry. They have led the way 43-28. Let's send you now to the Alpha Romeo halftime. Here's Adnan Verker, LaFonso Ellis. Take it away, Adnan.
All right, Brent, thank you very much, sir. It is
Welcome to the SEC Big 12 Challenge presented by Sonic here at the intermission in Norman. 43-28, 15-point difference. Gators took control of this game midway through the first half. So Nick Vitale and Brett Musburger, Kenny Hartung along with us. And what do you make of our first half and where we are here?
Well, it's all Florida. Gators done a great job with their bench scoring. Barry was terrific. He did a great job coming in and scoring. And I'll tell you this, Canyon, his daddy's really proud. Just got a text message from him. He wants your number. He wants to talk to you. Look at him shooting the 3. His daddy says, that's my guy. That's my guy. He said, academically, it's my wife. Me, basketball. And Hayes played really well on the inside. And they did a great job in defensive transition. Here they are attacking, taking the extra pass. They look like a legit top 20 team in the way they played in the first half. Take a look right here, the leading scorers.
And Kayla, you spoke with Coach Kruger. What do you have to say?
Well, Brent, just as this Oklahoma team came in feeling bad about the last 2 losses, he said in that locker room just now, they're still feeling bad. They know that they got whipped by Florida in that first half. He said, we need to fix a little bit of everything, but it really comes down to being a more aggressive team and attacking when they have the option. He says that for this team comes by committee. There's not one guy that he leans on, but as we've seen before, Jordan Woodard has been known to come back stronger in the second half than the first. We're looking for it.
Wait, Kelly, great point about Woodard, but also a great point is the fact that Florida has struggled the first 4 minutes after half in a number of games. Let's see how they respond here.
Both Hayes and Barry on the floor here at the start of the second half.
Well, they're rewarded for the great effort.
There is Barry again, the second time. Couldn't get it to fall after the offensive rebound. But the key here on Oklahoma, can they find some scores?
The one they can find is over at the, as you said, New Orleans, the Pelicans, Mr. Buddy Buckets. See, they got to look for Woodard to give him a lift. He did that in the second half against West Virginia. He was great in the second half. See, Florida's got them standing around too much on offense.
And that shot is short, and here come the Gators.
Florida's got more movement, moving the basketball. Casey Hill puts some pressure on the defense.
Hayes bumps in, gets his own miss. Berry saves it. Driving Casey Hill.
Casey Hill went right to the goal. No one rotated over, Brent. Nobody tried to stop his driving angle. Nobody gave any help. This is not a good performance here by Oklahoma at home. Coming off those 2 tough losses, as Keely documented.
Shots aren't there. And off of Oklahoma player. Out of bounds. It would go back to Florida. So we're going to talk a little bit about Blake Griffin with the Clippers, former great Oklahoma star. He'll be on the court tonight against Warriors. Glad to see he's back. But he made a financial gift to this school, the largest ever by a former Sooner basketball player. We're going to show you an artist's rendition of the Performance Center that generous contribution led to. Yanked down by the Sooners, who are still looking for some points here. They turn it back over.
2-on-1, 2-on-1. Nice little
it's a bounce pass. Berry gets it back. Allen, 3, no.
They're beating them on the glass. Just like hustling them on the glass, Brett. Getting second and third shots.
Allen nails the 3.
Can't give them 3 shots. You got to be able to challenge them on the glass. Come on, I want to see some fight now on these Oklahoma kids. I'm going to battle a little bit.
Woodard misses, and a foul is going to go against Oklahoma. So we mentioned this, Dick.
Wow, look at that
Center, and this is because of the generosity of Blake Griffin.
Blake was such a great player here. Terrific player, terrific NBA player.
Largest contribution ever made to this school by a former basketball player.
Tell you one thing, that's a little different than when I was coaching in our weight room. I'll tell you that. We had a couple of weights here and there.
That was probably even when you were in the NBA, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was there too short. I can't remember those days.
Okay. It's an easy hit by Hayes.
It's embarrassing. It's being embarrassing now. It's almost like what Michigan did to Indiana. Humiliated them, beating them by 30. Don Kruger has got too much pride to be able to witness this kind of performance.
17 minutes to go, and the Gators dominating in Norman.
The 2 winningest programs in the history of the sport.
Run, baby, run.
What a capper for a great SEC Big 12 challenge.
This is going to be a blockbuster.
So there we have it tonight at 6:15, and the comparison of the 2 programs, the all-time 2 winningest programs, that combined 8 championships for Kentucky, 3 for Kansas, so they combined 11, and just 2 dominant teams.
Hey, Brent, where is right now? We need the Mickey Mouse jet to come and pick us up and take us to Lexington to see that game. Are you kidding me? We can make it. There's a 2-hour break. We can make it out there. What a great game that's going to be. You got 2 outstanding coaches, great guard play with Mason, and certainly Graham. And the kid Jackson on the wing is terrific for Kansas. The other side, you got Monk. And certainly got Monk and the kid Fox, who are terrific.
Now, that was Jordan Shepard, Dick, who just knocked that 3 down. I was just thinking, Berry couldn't answer. The one thing about the college game now with the 3 ball, when you're down as much as Oklahoma is, that'll help you get back in the game. There's 5 unanswered right now for the Sooners.
Timeout. I think Ron Kruger got into them a little bit about playing with some pride and playing with some heart. They were not playing with a lot of intensity or emotion.
That was their first 3-point basket after missing their first 6. Open man's Hayes, and 1.
They do a terrific. they do a fantastic job with their execution of two-man game. Dribble into the lane, release cutters and screeners, go to the goal strong. I mean, this is teaching right here. And watch right now, the defense rotates over, great angle to the basket. He gets into a tough way, but it goes down, and now he goes to the strike. He's having a heck of a game today. Hayes, not Elvin Hayes, but he's having a heck of a game. Was he some kind of power forward?
I just tell you that Mr. Rick Barry and the Warriors beat him 4 straight in 75 to win that championship. And let's go to Kaylee.
Well, that last huddle run by Lon Kruger, you guys guessed it. The key message, 2 words, let's fight.
They got to fight, Kelly. There's no fight out there. Now they should have a little lift here. The coach spoke to him. We'll double up on the basketball.
There's the fight, but it's going to go up the other way. Going to go against Latin.
Boy, it was a wild day in hoops hysteria today. North Carolina goes down to Miami. You got Georgia Tech, Josh Pastner. What a freshman he's got. Josh Ogaji. The kid is terrific, unreal. At 35 and 14 against Florida State, whipped them badly. And then they come back and beat the Fighting Irish today in dramatic fashion.
So now Latin saddled with 4 fouls. Gators out by 20. We've got a timeout.
I'm Brent Musburger along with Rick Barry. So nice that you can come along and watch this game.
Kenyon Barry is having himself a great game with 13 points. He's 4 of 7. And, he's hit a couple of threes. He's got 3 big offensive. While I was chuckling, folks, did you notice the shirt that his pops had on?
Unbelievable. Hey, did he send you a text? He wanted your number.
Like, check that out, man.
What about the hairdo? Wow.
But I'm telling you something. He's one of the more underrated stars to come out of the NBA. A man can flat play. And he understood the game, too.
Just talk to his peers. They'll tell you all about him. Poppy Beer used to tell me all the time what a competitor he was. The guy with him was pretty good, too, Mr. Thurman.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you talk about underrated.
Al Attles was the coach.
Yep.
Great guy. Tough guy. You didn't mess with Coach Al.
Newark, New Jersey, baby. Newark, New Jersey.
So here's James now, and Oklahoma's searching for kind of a run that they could put together, but the Gators just put the little flames out. Nothing Oklahoma can seemingly do well here in stretches.
Gators are just flat out better, Brent. They're better, they're more experienced. They have a better feel for knowing what to do with the basketball. They're just a better team. Hey, I'm going to ask you this. You've done a lot of basketball. A lot of basketball. Now, I don't want you to be a politician. Name for me, you think about it. I want the top 3 players that you witnessed while you called games on any level, collegiate, professional.
Odom drives it in. I'm going to start with one because I think he gets overlooked a lot. That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's a great, I'm glad you said that.
I'm going to go right to him.
He changed the rules in college.
There's no question. And here at this other end, it's going to be a foul call, and that was Egbunu coming in. In all the games I did, collegiately, not so many with Lou Alcindor, but certainly with Kareem, I never saw anybody get close to blocking the sky hook. If I had to have one shot in the history of basketball, the games I covered, and somebody had to shoot it for the win of the tie, I said, get the ball to Kareem, we're coming right baseline, and he's going to throw the hook shot up.
Well,
okay? He's #1.
Magic told me a long time ago, he said, hey, I love playing with the captain, man, because I know one thing. When he laced them up, he always came to play, and he was terrific. Can't argue with that. Can't debate it. I mean, it's just, it's a matter of choice.
Second one, I'm going to go to Kansas, okay? Danny Manning, because in Danny Manning and the Miracles, when they won the national championship with Kansas, they played Oklahoma in the finals. Some folks forget that. That game was tied at 50 at the half. And then Danny Manning took over. If he hadn't been injured, he would have been all of the all-time greats.
Yeah, Danny was a terrific player as well.
Great player, okay? I'm looking past some of the obvious guys.
The Jordans.
Well, I can't go any further without Michael. Michael was simply the best of all the guys that I was ever running. And I'll tell you what I thought to this day, I think what separates him is that people around him played much better because he was on the team. The running of the Bulls, fairly average group of guys out there. With Scottie Pippen was a terrific player.
Well, Rodman is a rebounder.
But let me tell you something. Let me tell you about Michael Jordan. He kept Rodman from being arrested. I mean, if it hadn't been for Michael Jordan, goodness knows what Rodman would have wound up doing. What, did he wind up in North Korea once? I mean, come on. What are we talking about? But when it around Michael Jordan, he showed up at the games on time. So I can't list him. There's so many that it goes on and on. Magic brought enthusiasm to the league. Let me tell you something. One-on-one, you have a hard time getting me off of Oscar Robertson, too.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Triple-double.
I went out to try and I said, well, let me try back in. I couldn't move a foot. His big arm would knock the ball away.
He was something
The big
else.
O, man.
The big O. I saw him get 56 against my alma mater.
And how about clutch? Jerry West.
Oh, Jerry was automatic. I took a picture with his statue out in West Virginia when I was at the game the other day against Kansas. The logo, baby. There's so many great guys. It's so difficult. I should have put you on the spot.
No, it's okay. I love it. I love talking about those guys. It brings my mind. Of all the big guys, the most social is now Shaquille O'Neal. He was such a character. But going back to the original Giants, Wilt Chamberlain was wonderful.
Yeah, he's the guy that gets lost.
Yes.
Nobody talks about Wilt and his domination. I know Bob Lanier had an ultimate respect for him.
Yeah, don't worry. Well, Wilt was something.
He just dominated.
He loved track and field, you know.
Did he score 101 games?
Yeah, sure. He did
was
score.
big track and
With
field
Philadelphia,
guy.
yeah. He was a big high jumper. I think he might have cleared 7 feet once.
Wow.
Early on. Wilt was a great athlete.
Memories. You must have incredible memories that you could share in a book. I mean, over the years, unbelievable.
Hey, why don't you come out and write my book? You're the book guy. You come on. Nobody knows how to market a book. How many books you got now, Bud? 30?
13.
13, okay.
13, more than I ever read.
Well, we've been chattering away, which indicates we've got a one-sided game here. I apologize.
Yeah. Well, they got it to 15. Got it to 15. There it is. Got it to 15. I'm going to ask you one other thing. You think about this.
Yes.
Think about this. I know you love football.
Love it.
Super Bowl, baby. Who's going to win that Super Bowl?
So, let me do a promo first. Let me do some.
Do a promo. A promo. Come on.
Kansas, Kentucky. Watch it. Okay, my friend.
Great work.
I got to miss you, buddy. So, listen, the Super Bowl, if you give Mr. Belichick, the best coach in the Super Bowl era, an extra week, he's going to take something away. I've got great respect for Atlanta's offense, but I've got respect for what Mr. Belichick is going to do.
And the
I'm
guy
going to have to go with New England, Dick, over 58.
Oh.
Some of you understand that.
Hey, let me say this. You can't go against Brady. Brady going for his 5th. Incredible. It'll be unbelievable. He's the greatest. I think he's the greatest QB of all time. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
You agree? Okay, great.
Agree.
A lot of people, my son-in-law screams at me, says, Montana, Montana.
No, Montana was great. And listen, let's not take anything away from Joe Montana, but this is his 7th Super Bowl. And let us not forget in that he was suspended for the first 4 games of this season. And in the regular season, he came back and you know, he threw only 1 interception. I mean, it's a remarkable record.
It's
the
great
down
entry.
Mr. Hayes, huh?
What a terrific job they're doing, moving the ball. Mike White's going to be so pleased. Great execution. I want you to think about this one. Don't give an answer now. Just think about it. It's going to be a little tough one. The greatest coach attributes today in all of sports, college, pros, you have to pick one guy. The greatest coach in all of sports today. I got my pick.
Misfire, rebound by Oklahoma. Driving layup. That was a beautiful by Modesti.
Well, we haven't seen that the entire game. A little speed, a little quickness.
And look, you know, kind of inching back in here. So
15 down.
Hang on here a little bit.
That shot
they can keep this run going now. This is a big trip here, Dick.
Yeah,
you know, the
shot
crowd,
right there.
if they keep this run going, this crowd's going to come for us.
Yeah, we haven't heard the crowd all day.
You know, you look back through the years, and both Florida and Oklahoma had such great success. 25 combined NCAA tournament appearance, 12 Sweet 16. Look at all the four Final Fours for Florida, 2 national titles back-to-back. Oklahoma, and then the great stars that have come through these 2 terrific programs. Blake, of course, you can see him on ABC tonight. For the Clippers, Buddy Hields down in New Orleans playing well, banners hanging. And right now, Oklahoma is attempting to mount a little bit of a rally. I'm going to quickly answer your question. Obviously, Mr. Belichick, but Nick Saban is right there with him, what he's done at Alabama. Those are the 2 coaches that I consider the best overall.
Okay.
In any sport.
I go with another guy.
Oh, well, you're going to go with the
Mike
women's.
Krzyzewski, with #1, the winningest coach in the history of college basketball, but also factor in the gold medals 3 times, coaching all those great players, getting them to buy into the pride of wearing the red, white, and blue. But, you know, you can't go wrong. I think those 3 stand out over all of them. And making a run in a few years might be a guy in the Windy City where your alma mater is making noise by the name of Joe Madden. But we have to wait on Joe.
Yeah, Joe did a great job with the Cubs traveling over. Now Oklahoma tried to dig their way back into this. I'll tell you who we forgot. We should not overlook the women's coach at Connecticut.
Gino, unbelievable.
Okay, that's
unbelievable.
That's
Good
unbelievable.
call, Brad. Good call. Really good call. What Gino's doing, I mean, they're taking so for granted. You barely see a line here and there in the Florida papers about them winning the 95 in a row or something like that. It's incredible.
What a great job. Dick Hayes
having a big
just did back-to-back terrific defensive plays down there. What a nice afternoon he's having.
Well, Mike White's got to be pleased with this effort. After the 2 losses, they've done a great job blowing out LSU, who's not a good basketball team. But this was a team we all thought that Oklahoma would challenge them. And so far, it's not been a challenge. I mentioned a kid earlier. I want you to get a chance to watch this kid play. Josh Okogie plays for Georgia Tech at 35-14 against Florida State, 27 against North Carolina. So underrated as a diaper dandy. We don't talk about him. He was a 4.0 student. Mike White told me he tried to recruit him. And he decided to play for the Ramblin' Wreck, Georgia Tech. And what a year he's having.
Now focus on Oklahoma. Can they get this down to a 10? Can they get it to a 9? Can they make themselves relevant here for the end of this game? They've been digging away here.
And can I get here to be a TV star?
This from the 3. That would have helped. Huh? So the SEC with the upper hand in this one right now. This would help Hayes, and it's rejected. Great defense underneath that time by McNeese.
Yeah, McNeese has shown some moments here. Down in the low post, the block shot. They got some people to build around with their young people. Certainly got to give an edge to the SEC tonight in Kentucky. I mean, Kansas is very good, but the games in Kentucky, John Calipari, it is a big story that he ever loses in Lexington.
Rattles out, Robinson shot. So they're still right in there with 15. They can get 9:59. If they could hit that 5-minute mark, that was middle to 10.
Got to make some threes here from the perimeter. Oh, nice move right there.
Way up, and they've got it beautifully now. That was Doolittle, the freshman. So slowly but surely, folks.
Well, I like the idea that they didn't lay down. Lon Kruger had that one timeout when he was down better than 20, and they've come out with a little spark to him. Doolittle is going to be a special player in the Oklahoma uniform. By the way, my favorite Oklahoma player.
Offensive foul.
Yeah. My favorite Oklahoma player of all time. Not close. Wayman Tisdale.
Oh, Tisdale.
Wayman was unbelievable.
Wonderful player.
Yeah, Wayman would have loved that block. He was a scoring machine on the interior, and he was dynamite when he got the ball on the interior. What a scoring machine. Brent, one of the great awards I've ever received in my life. There was a lot of cheers in the place. I was the first recipient of the Wayman Tisdale Humanitarian of the Year Award, and Toby Keith was there. And Toby Keith and Wayman had such a relationship. If you ever get a chance, Google him singing at his funeral. It will bring you to tears. He wrote a special song for Wayman.
Drive through his Hill.
Tough to get back when you're not playing defense. You can't let a guy go right through the defense on a straight line. You got to get up in his face. You're not going to cut a lead. That deficit gets back at 15.
Doolittle spins off the glass. Good looking move by the freshman.
He's a good looking player. He's physical, he's strong. He can make threes. He made some threes against Texas. He's got a chance to be a special player here with the Sooner uniform.
Berry on the floor for the Gators. 13.
I want to pick that dribble up.
And the foul's going to go against Oklahoma.
Okay, I got another big question for you. I know everybody's out there wants to hear your answer. Most people will say right now, and I know I will, the greatest player of all time. When you look what he's done as an NBA player, has to be Michael Jordan.
Absolutely.
Michael Jordan.
Absolutely.
Do you think there's any chance before he unlaces them for the last time and takes them off that King James, LeBron, could be in the argument as the greatest of all time? Because he's got at least another 5-6 years to play.
You know, I don't want to say never. I think they're so different in terms of athletic ability. Going to the basket, nobody can stop LeBron. I mean, he's so powerful and big when he comes. That freight train coming through.
They have one thing in common: winners mentality. Hate to lose, hate to be number 2. They want to win. I'm going to have a big treat. I'm going to be doing a Cavaliers game. I can't wait because it's going to bring back memories. I did his very first game as a high school player with Dan Schulman and with Big Red Bill Walton. And when that game went on, I thought that was too much hype for this kid. To bring Walton and I to do that game with him, I thought it was so much hype. That's the only time I ever said to ESPN, I don't want to do that game, man. That's ridiculous. Bringing 2 guys us there, making them figure. Well, the game started about 4 or 5 minutes into the game. I turned to the Big Red guy. I said, Bill, he is better than advertised. Better. He was that dominant against an Oak Hill team that had like 4 or 5 Division I players. He made them look like they never played. He is so good. Nobody is too. He's a great guy. He really is a great guy, Brett.
Well, you mentioned another guy who, had he not been injured,
Bill Walton, absolutely.
I would tell you, when Portland comes back against Philadelphia and wins that championship that we did, that was an unbelievable point. Bill Walton was the best passing center that I ever watched.
His outlet passes are great. You know what I love about Bill, too? He has fun. He goes to a game with Dave Pasch. He has fun. I think sometimes we get in the world of sports that we were talking last night about it, whether it be baseball, football, basketball, whatever. Sometimes the technicalities just get beyond itself. If you're in Zeesville, you're sleeping, man. I watch a baseball game in a second inning, you want to doze off because every pitch is being dissected and analyzed. You agree with this?
Absolutely, I agree.
Well, you agree with me today, man. I like it.
Nice try. Good. Another McGusty effort here. 7.5 now.
Well, McGusty, he got to come with some defensive stops. McGusty and Doolittle are trying to help him. They're getting the ball inside well.
That time, Latin. Remember, Latin is playing with 12 fouls, but he did seal up Hayes. Got a timeout. Oklahoma with 7:27 left.
ESPN.
Alongside LaFonso Ellis, I'm Adnan Berkman's college basketball studio update. Names Stevenson here. It's LSU and Texas Tech. Stevenson getting it done.
That's one of 12 made threes in this game for Texas Tech. They have been hot from 3.
Right about that. 70-50 right now. Just over 5 to go there. And also Kansas State, Tennessee. It's all Vols here, Fonz. And do not forget, coming up next, it's Deontay Mateen and Georgia. Big game against Texas as the SEC Big 12 Challenge continues. Brent, back to you.
Hey, let me tell you that, man. Tell LaFonso what happened to the Irish. 2 in a row, man. What's going on with the Irish, LaFonso?
Go.
You know, Dick, this has been a very tough afternoon for Jordan Woodard. He's played only 3 minutes this half. Giorgio, my compatriot stats man, has told me he's missed all 7 of his shots. He's turned it over 3 times and doesn't have an assist.
And he was 1 for 6 in the last game. So you combine those 2 games, it's been a really, really tough time for Woodard. I'm glad you mentioned George Hill. George, I want to thank him for the years sitting next to me as well in all the games I did with you. George is a stat man extraordinaire.
Indeed. Takes care of Al Michaels, you know, on Sunday Night Football.
I know that. I worked once with Al. It was a great time. He had to fill in for someone, and we worked together. It was great.
Foul. Hayes fouled. Latin and remind everybody it's 65-47. Kansas and Kentucky at 6:15 p.m. Eastern. So that game will be ending about the time you can flow on over to ABC and watch the NBA tonight. The Clippers and the Warriors. I got to tell you, a young coach has got a chance. Another good friend of mine, Steve Kerr, the Golden State Warriors, is doing a very, very good job with that team. Not easy coaching a bunch of stars all the time.
Oh, I agree with that.
Very smart, knows what he's doing.
Players respect them. They respect them big time. Hey, let me ask you this. You're talking pros. Phil Jackson, what is going on with the Carmelo Anthony's soap opera? That's becoming ugly.
Wraparound hoop here for the Gators by Hill. Indeed, I mean, you just expect to pick up a newspaper, or in today's world, of course, you get a bulletin on your telephone and you hear that Carmelo's been traded. I think everybody's anticipating that from what I've heard. Goes up hard for that rebound. Is he okay?
Sometimes guys are great on the sideline. That doesn't cross over to be great in the front office.
Totally different.
It's a different scenario, totally.
Right.
And New York has been really struggle city since he's been in the administrator there in New York City.
I think they have to get together here and make the playoffs this year. I think that's
they got some players.
That's what the Knicks do.
They got some players.
Need to get there. I think one of the newspapers had Carmelo Anthony for Chris Paul. Does that?
Chris Paul? They're not going to trade Chris Paul. I read that. I couldn't believe that.
I couldn't either.
I couldn't believe. Hey, let me say this. You have to be absolutely ecstatic that your alma mater is definitely going to be dancing this year for the first time. The Windy City, finally Chicago, the Cubs, and Chris College has Northwestern, where they're going to be in the NCAA tournament for the very first time. Does that mean you're going to make a bigger donation? Oh, man.
Put me on the spot now. Here's a steal. And it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Florida basketball, 67-49. What a great story, Dick. The first NCAA championship game was played on the Northwestern campus at McGaw Hall.
I did not know that.
Back in 39, I believe.
Were you a student then?
Might as well have been. Now, when I was in school, however, only one team from a conference could go to the tournament. Well, that was the Lucas, Havlicek, the great Ohio State teams. And Northwestern would have gone. Joe Rucklick, Bird, a couple guys who went on in the NBA and played for a long time. But there was only one team, and it was going to be the Buckeyes. So this is great for them to finally make the NCAA.
Oh, Chris Collins.
And Chris is doing a terrific job.
Yes, he is. Learned so much from his dad. His dad does a fantastic job on ESPN, really knows the game.
Doug was in that championship in Philadelphia against Portland when Bill Walton in the game won. Doug was a point guard with the Sixers.
Starting to get this thing to wind down. I got to ask you this. Let the people, because they don't know too much about how you all started. You didn't start as a broadcaster. Tell the people how it all started after Northwestern.
Well, I started as a writer. And
that's why you love all the writers.
Yeah, I like the writers, and I fell in with a good bunch of New York writers. Red Smith, Dick Young was somebody I really looked up to. Covered baseball.
David Anderson
was on the beat. David Anderson, another great friend. Took us to Joe Namath.
Oh, you told that story last night. It was great. The Joe Namath. So we don't have enough time to talk about it. Plus, there's some things we can't say about it.
But no, I started as a newspaper man, and they went into.
How did you get into TV? How did it happen on TV?
Well, I was doing radio upstairs in the building. The CBS owned the entire building, and they were looking for somebody to do the strip. That 2-minute strips used to be very big in the communities and the 10 o'clock news. And so they came and they actually said, "Would you do a commentary for us? We'd like to see what kind of the reaction it is." And I went and said that either Stan Mikita or Bobby Hull should be traded as the Black. Okay. So I broke that telephone record that night. There's 3 ball from the side by Robinson for the Gators.
It's amazing how you've taken your career. I mean, you got to feel it's exceeded any dream you ever had.
Oh,
really.
Absolutely.
Plus, your bank account has gone ding-a-ling, ding-ding, ding-a-ling, ding, ding-a-ling.
I've been blessed to be around. There's such great people. Not who I work with like you and the fellows in the truck. Scott Matthews, our producer. Today I worked with him. Knew his dad really well. And,
Lauren was a great guy, baseball lover. We were talking baseball last night. Oh, guess who I met last night in the lobby? I meant to tell you. They're going to be good this year, man. I bet she's here at the game right now. Used to be an anchor at ESPN, Carrie Ross. She's married to Dave Dombrowski, the president of the Red Sox. He had the Marlins, Red Sox, he had the Tigers. Everywhere he goes, they win. And now getting the kid from Chicago, the White Sox. What's the left-handed pitcher? Sale, wow. They're going to be tough to beat.
I think they're going to be favored in the American League.
Absolutely.
Okay. It comes to the Red Sox, that wouldn't be bad, my friend.
I know.
Huh?
See, I know you're ready, thinking about favorites and losers. You're getting ready, man, for your next career. Because you're not done, I can tell you that. You will hear the name, Brent Musburger. Family's involved with him.
Yeah.
Beautiful family, Marlene.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I do tell everybody who gets into this business. You know, always maintain that great family, because when it's all said and done, that's what all of us have got left. And I know your family's very close. Hill's driving for the Gators and won. Putting this one away now, 72-50.
You know, everybody disappears when the party's over, but your family that hangs with you and stays with you, especially at tough times. Here they go.
Absolutely.
Gators in transition. Up they go, baby. I'll tell you what, this is going to be a heck of a game when they play Kentucky. And Saturday night on ESPN, Game Day crew will be down here. Beautiful. What they did to renovate the arena down here in Gainesville is really special.
Yeah, fans are going to want to see that game. You're right, that's a big attraction. Oklahoma needs to regroup. You know, they've got young players, lost all that experience from a year ago, but I've got a lot of respect for Coach Kruger.
Well, you don't take 5 different schools to the NCAA tournament. I mean, it's all Florida today. They are really playing well. It's been a great road trip. You know where they went Thursday? They went to see the Oklahoma City. Former coach, Billy Donovan. All those guys.
Right up the road.
Yeah.
Took them to back-to-back championships.
And watch Mr. Westbrook go from 45. I mean, he does that on a routine basis. It's incredible. He and Harden.
Well, the SEC is going to get a win here.
Question is, will they get one tonight in the big battle between Kansas and Kentucky? Certainly the edge. I mean, you better than anyone knows the scenario. Hey, you got to edge Kentucky out.
Well, yeah. How about 7-point edge?
Or 7. I figured you'd be specific. I knew you'd be specific.
Well, you asked me, that's why I wanted to tell you. You mentioned the suspension of that one player that will hurt Kansas.
Well, they got no size. They're just doing a great job executing on the first half. Getting high percentage shots. What a wild day in hoops today, though. It's been unreal. Hey, Florida State, they've lost 2 in a row since the time they were 5-1 against 6 nationally rated teams.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Sonic's 399 foot-long with ties.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger, and welcome to our 15th edition of the NFL Today.
You are looking live at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
That's it. Villanova has done it.
Flutie throws it down. Caught by Boston College. I don't believe it.
Florida State rules the BCS. Welcome to our brand new home, the SEC Network.
Save the women and children. Holy mackerel. We still don't know who's number 1. You know, I knew it was going to be good, Parker, but I have no idea what we were in for.
Well, it is impossible to encapsulate the career of a legend in 40 seconds. And while we will miss Brent Musburger's voice tremendously on our air, we will all always have the memories as defined by his voice of so many of our favorite sports teams over the years. Brent, it's an honor and a privilege. We will be right there by your side on Tuesday for your last call at Rupp Arena, a place where you had one of your most dramatic calls ever back in 1985 when Georgetown upset Villanova.
Thank you so much, Kaylee. So enjoyed working with you in the SEC. You and Jesse Palmer. Come next fall, I'm going to be missing you, okay? I'm going to say, oh, my goodness, what did I do here? And my friend Dick Vitale with the basketball team. I've been so blessed to work with so So many great people over
Well, you know, we've been blessed. And we're going to be so missed, but never, ever forgotten. Some of those classic calls. Hey, Brent, when did you first use You're Looking Live?
It was about 76 on the NFL Today. We did it. We traveled around from various stadiums to show people the weather. Bob Fishman, a director who worked Final Fours with me for years.
Phenomenal.
Great director, and he said that some friends wanted to know what the weather was like, and so we started looking live.
Boy, you set the pattern for all the studio shows that are out there today. You, Irv Cross, Jimmy the Greek, Phyllis George.
I just wish I'd have had the time that they have now. When I had the Greek and Phyllis, I would have been attacked in a saloon. You know, I only had 28 minutes. I had to dish it out. It was a little tight, you know. Everybody wanted the ball, wanted to shoot, you know.
Yeah, everybody wants to rock, baby, the microphone. But today, these guys got a lot of time in these different shows. Well, you set a standard. I mean, the impact you made on broadcasting. I've read quotes by a lot of the young guys out there how they're so indebted for what you have done. And that's got to make you feel like $1 million.
Oh, it does. Listen, I've been blessed to be through this. And the variety, people ask me it's the whole variety, Dick. I was not pigeonholed into one thing.
When did you finally decide that this is going to be it for me, sports broadcasting, in terms of play-by-play? When did you reach that moment? Because it came shocking me, to be honest.
Well,
I was surprised.
We actually been talking about this, my brother Todd and I, we've been talking about this for the last 6-7 months. It was a work in progress out of Nevada, and Mr. Michael Gaughan, who was very close to John Thompson at Georgetown. You know, once he built the studio out there in the South Point.
I heard he built a beautiful studio.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And he's great. I mean, he has one of his sons on NASCAR, one of the Gaughan children. And, of course, I go way back with Jimmy the Greek into some of those places into the Barbary Coast the Gaughan family owned, and lots of good friends. And Sonny's brother, you know, Jimmy Vaccaro, has been one of the bookmakers out in Las Vegas for a long time, and I've known him through the years. Listen, I want to make most important thing is the integrity of the game. I got that. Every commissioner, whether it's a college league or whether it's the National Football League or any of these people, but those professionals who deal in that particular business, that's as important to them as anything else. I mean, they're businessmen, okay? So if you want to track corruption or anything that's going on regarding that, you go to those people in Las Vegas. They're going to tell you. They're going to tell you the truth because it's a movement of money. It's a big business. I would think under the President Trump's administration, there's a chance it will grow. It will expand into states other than Nevada, but we'll have to see. I don't think it's the most important thing, but I think it's part of the process of athletics. That's how I look at it.
You're obviously going to now move to Vegas.
Yeah, we'll probably not move on.
You're going to sell your home in Montana.
Never.
Never,
friend. Well, it's been a pretty one-sided game here today, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it wasn't a lot closer. You know, I always like close games with Mr. Vitale, like we
love those close
had
games
last year.
But you know what? Having you here today, sharing a lot of these stories, things that I did not know that you had a feeling about, I think it's been great. And Brent, all I can tell you, man, I know I've been blessed to work with a lot of play-by-play people. First time I worked with you and I heard you say You're Looking Live, I had goosebumps come through my body because you always made an event. When I watched an event that you did, I wanted to be there. You made it so exciting. You made it so enthusiastic. Your energy and what you created was so special. God bless you and all what you do. Love you, buddy.
Thank you, my friend. So, the Florida Gators, congratulations to Coach White. This was a wonderful effort here today, and it means that the Toad Board has 2 victories for the SEC now and 2 for the Big 12. And on...
They're going to see you back in Lexington one more time, you and Jay in that big Kentucky arena where you made the call, Georgetown, and that big game with Villanova and Rollie Massimino. Brent, all I can simply say, it's been an absolute thrill, my friend.
Thank you, Dick.
Love you, buddy.
I'm going to miss you, man. More than you can imagine. I'm going to miss all you guys. But you know, I want to say one thing most of all. The most important people are the fans who come to us. If we don't have you guys tuning in or coming to these arenas, we got nothing.
Nothing, exactly.
You make us, and that's the meaning of this. And boy, for Oklahoma and Florida, so many great games through the years. Thanks for enjoying the ride, and big win here for the Florida Gators as they move forward to get back to the NCAA tournament. And Mr. Vitale, it has been an absolute pleasure. You're one of the best. So long, everybody.